So it is, little ones, we talk to you, yes? We can talk slowly, we can talk fast, we can talk happy, we can talk not happy, but we don't want to talk in any way at all except to the heart. Remember that in this moment in your world, the only thing that is vibrationally sound at this point in time is the heart. The liver, it can get all crazy because of all the different input and the emotions, yes? The brain, it gets very crazy because it has so much information trying to sort what is old and familiar, where does it fit into the new paradigm. So we say to you, only in your heart will you be able to make any kind of peace. We're not talking about making sense because that's the head. Make peace with what is happening on your planet. Remember that the universe itself, although it appears from time to time to be chaotic, whether it is weather or it is another symbol that goes on in your world, is not out of control. All right? All the issues that you are facing now appear as though they are out of control, out of your control. But it's really just an essence of what has been happening for so many thousands of years in the human psyche. The psyche is a place where information is stored. New information very rarely goes into the psyche. Right? It goes into the brain, it goes into the comprehensive part of the self, but the psyche is like a place where the sacred old information lies. Now, sacred doesn't mean that it's beautiful and that it is religious and that it has harmony in it. No, sacred is something that people can hold dear to themselves with great amount of belief in what is happening and call it sacred as though it is part of their core. But this moment in time, your core, it needs more opening into the sense of yourself. So your core, which for right now we'll talk about from the heart, is being opened. So you may feel, especially on this date, this time, the energies intensifying and the body, mind, spirit being way chaotic more than you normally can experience. The heart will try to keep pulse with what is happening, but it is not a familiar pulse. And so as the vibrations are shifting and changing within your planet and in your solar system, your heart is playing catch up with the theme, or catch up with what is happening. So know that rest, relaxation is very important, that your body can take all the impulses that are happening, whether they are impulses of I want to be to sleep, all right, or I want to run away, or I want to understand, or I'm feeling threatened, or I don't know what to do, I am confused. The body is going to exhibit all of that, and you just allow that to be, because the body is a repository and has been for this life cycle and many other life cycles of the emotions that are not synchronized or in harmony with the ability to breathe in and breathe out, right? So the breathing in, the breath, yes, inhalation, exhalation, balance in the body. Taking in information, letting out information doesn't happen quite as balanced. So the body has a tendency to react when there's so much information coming in, especially information that does not feel as though it is going to be easy to digest. It's like looking at a meal that may be too big or may not have the right food in it for your likes and dislikes. Remember, your belief systems are playing a huge role in how it is you face every day. In this everyday reality, the human is capable of existing, but the brain is not able to comprehend all that is in existence. That's like your body interacting with the light, and whether it is that you're looking out or you're looking inside of yourself, or whether it is that you're noticing something scientific or something spiritual. There's always this play going on, back and forth and back and forth. But the brain tries to put it into a receptacle and a place where you can make sense out of it and go back to that information and be able to draw on it. But that's not happening right now. So this special day, it's called with the Lion's Gate. It's actually an exiting of many of the negatives that have gone on in each person's life, yes, but the negatives that have gone on for the planet. If the great lion shows up with their pride and they lie there, and the rest of the animals would naturally back away. So the lion part of yourself, which is the bright part of yourself, the commanding part of yourself, the strong part of yourself, the one that is able to be majestic in the moment and just have presence. So we're talking about your presence coming forward at this particular time, so that you know that the Christed self, the part of you that is implicit, the part of you that is everlasting, is non-ending, has all the awareness that is ever needed for any situation at all, is activating. And the more you can move back from trying to figure out what is happening or what you're deciding or having a belief system, the greater the impulse will be for the creative force or the Christed self or the infinite light or the creator force to penetrate into your reality. And that's not going to be sensible. It's not going to have words to it. It's going to be in feelings. It's going to be a way in which you can be in the moment and be overwhelmed at times with what the sensations are, but also recognize that you are like a being. If you did not have gravity to stick your feet to the planet, you would be floating around. And basically you are anyway. You've come to visit this planet, and you are floating around through realities, in and out of situations, and great speed is happening on the planet's momentum, and great energies are happening in all directions. And still your perception is that you are one, and that you are still, and that you have a body, and that you are able to move about, go right and left, or sit down or stand up the way you want to. And therefore you have a great grand director that is with you. But for certain, if it was you, just your little self, you could not command all the forces that are happening, whether it's coming from the sun or inside the earth, or it's coming from magnetic fields, or it's coming to the electric impulses. You are not controlling that. You are living within it, and they are changing. All those impulses are changing. And therefore the heart and that stabilization of yourself is the most important and primary aspect of this transition that you are engaging in. All right, so the transition is not quite halfway through. There are many different things that are going to be happening on the planet, and to allow these things to happen in love, which means acceptance, right? It's not about I love it, I want it, I need it, I grab it, I have it, I hold it. No, it's in acceptance, just the pure ability to accept what is. And that means you're just floating here. You're just saying, all right. It's not like you're going to be overwhelmed or overtaken by anything, because you're the supreme force and you've dropped your energy into this particular reality for this period of time. So nothing's going to take you over, but the part of yourself that is able to observe, just be pure observation, must be released into the reality, which means no more judging and criticizing. And of course the fear that has been brought into this particular time and space and place through the details of a disease process that possibly is going to hurt, kill, make strange things happen to people, is introduced in a way in which the intention is to control the way the human is able to be present. Because if there is fright, there is not presence. And there's a whole different activity of the chemistry of the blood, and there's a whole different way in which the breathing is happening, and therefore your humanity is threatened at this point in time by being altered by fear-induced information. What is the way to move away from that? It's to center into your heart, realize that this is just information, and then be able to know, do I believe that or not? That's still a head, that's still a phenomenon. Can I feel that as a truth inside myself? Do I want to feel that inside myself as a truth? Or am I able to say, I am stronger than all of this? That's the important part of what is happening at this point in time. So it is a self-induced hypnosis that people are putting themselves under. Number one, they want to be safe. Number two, they want to be approved of. Number three, they want to be loved. Number four, they want to be in control, in charge of their lives, and it's just not happening. So the little person, the person that is thoughts and ideas and personality, persona, ego, that little person is receiving a lot of impulses. But the central part of the self, that is light, the core being, is not receiving that. It is capable of watching. It is capable of just being present in the moment and allowing itself to be. And what goes on around that core of light is up to you. It's to be able to feel how much you're swirling, how much off center you particularly are, what kinds of information make you feel less balanced. All these things happen. And as you know that, you can give to yourself permission to decide in the moment that I'm going to stay in my own heart. You can't even say truth at this point in time because that's being shifted and changed. Right? The truths are manipulated through thought patterns, and those are not absolutes. Those are truths in the world of communication. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about all these little things that are happening. Realize that the ultimate goal here is surrender into your own sovereignty as a being of light, and recognizing that, because each one needs a trigger in order to wake up. Each one needs a way in which they will be spurred into an opening or a seeking of the truth of their very being. Otherwise, incarnations are going to continually happen over and over again, and this is a deciding moment on the planet of Earth for each and every one that has been incarnating for a really long time to say, I'm all done with this particular reality. Repetition is not where I want to spend my life. I don't want to go into the next 26,000 years and do the next rollover of what happens on the Earth plane, on the Earth planet. All right? So recognize that you are in charge from the point of your heart. You are able to be present, and you are able to open up to each and every moment, but do it without any type of activity of lurching out as though you're going toward it. Come inside yourself, come inside your eyes, come inside your ears. Make sure your heart is centered in the body so that it's not jumping out and the pulsing isn't happening all over your extremities. Relax. Know that ultimately you have come into this body at this particular time to enjoy this transitional experience. All right? So what does that mean, enjoy? It means in the self there is joy, and in the moment there is joy. With all the exterior information, all the exterior perpetuation of lying, yes, all these parts of the world that have been manipulated for thousands of years, this is not about joy. This is about control, and this is about stripping the human being of not just their dignity, that's one way, but stripping them of their innate ability to perceive everything as one.